after his unceremonious sacking from Red Bull only 2 races into the season, it was starting to look like he was just down and out. But strong showing this weekend as the lead car in that Red Bull family saw, Liam Lawson bring it home in P6, making a one-stop strategy work despite having Fernando Alonso lurking behind him for that entire second stint. Like, has Liam finally found some confidence this weekend?
I mean, he must have done, and it's not like he lucked into this. He qualified in sixth as well, and the Racing Bulls have been decent all weekend. I genuinely think that this is, it's good for his confidence, and he deserves it, to be honest, because he had a pretty torrid time at the start of the year, and I think very clearly it's not his fault. Red Bull seem to have, I don't want to sit there and talk about the car, but we have to look at the facts plain as day. If you're developing a car and it's only sort of if results can only be extracted by one driver, and that driver, I don't know, gets taken out at the start of a race, in a hairpin bend when there's a bit of a melee because you end up slightly out of position at the start, or let's say you have a bad start. Verstappen isn't likely to, but it's entirely possible you could. I've seen him, we've seen him have bad starts in the past,
He
whether it be
stalled
raining or
here.
something like that. Yeah, exactly. Nobody's infallible, and you're leaving yourself, if you're literally tying one hand behind your back and you've only got one car that's able to fight for points, you leave yourself in a pretty desperate and vulnerable position. By comparison, Lawson seems to have actually out of the not so much out of the limelight because I don't think it's ever really gone away. Unfortunately, I think the issue of the Red Bull driver program perennially puts you in under pressure and under scrutiny. But maybe the fact that the car is easier to drive, or heaven forbid, developed so that two drivers can drive it, or maybe even more than two, maybe a number of drivers can drive it, mean that the Racing Bulls have they outperformed the Red Bulls in qualifying, sort of on aggregate, and in the race, by quite a wide margin. Hadjar's also doing well. Lawson, I think, has got a bit of his mojo back. He doesn't look so downtrodden. I hope that this continues, and I hope that some lessons are taken from the fact that, like I say, on aggregate, the Racing Bulls are performing better than the Red Bulls right now, despite how the points may, sort of show. Obviously, we have a non-linear point scale, which skews things a bit. But like I say, the Racing Bulls really are doing a lot with what they have, and it's working out well for them. And I think it's that they're kind of the team that will be a bit difficult for someone like Sauber or maybe Haas if they have a better weekend to beat. So yeah, I really think that Lawson's doing great, and I hope that continues. I hope he's allowed to stay there and develop, and build a base in himself that he knows I can do this. I'm not, I wasn't promoted too soon. I was just put in the wrong place.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, it shows, as you just said, exactly what, the problem is with Red Bull.